So I'm just here doing my recordings and covering the topics that I wanted to speak about for the day. And a stranger behind the camera, you can't see it in the place where I'm at, walks past and just sort of standing over there looking. And then I stop the video I was recording. I sort of say hello and she comes over and she goes, I was just curious to see what you're doing. Anyway, long story short, we start speaking. He's a complete stranger, right? We spoke for the next 20 minutes. I got to learn a lot about her life. She learned a lot about mine. And from the outside looking in, you'd think that me and her are living completely different lives. She's a different age to me. I'm a different age to her. We're doing different things with our day. But when I spoke with her and I learnt about who she was and what she's doing and she learned about me, we realised we had a lot in common. And it just made me want to put this video together now to talk about the benefits of talking to strangers. And I don't mean that in the sense of putting yourself out there and stuff that's dangerous or stuff that could be harmful. Talking about positive, friendly human interactions. And she spoke with me about the very thing I'm recording this video on the phone. And we got speaking about the concept of technology and how it's really important in connecting people, but more importantly, how it's disconnecting a lot of us and how we use this technology to essentially connect, but we're losing the human connection, which is what we all really want. Now, I just spoke with her for 20 minutes and I feel amazing. And I'm sure that she felt the same as well. We did nothing untoward. There was no agendas. It was just two strangers chatting and connecting and talking about stuff where it starts smaller and builds up into something deeper. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a video off the fly here. Normally I like to try and take topics that you guys send me or stuff I can see is going on in the world, and then I try to talk about them and stuff that can be helpful. But I was just like, you know what, I'm going to share this one because I just don't know how many of us are missing opportunities to connect with others. And I asked her straight off the bat, she goes, what are you doing? I told her what I'm doing. I told her what the channel's about. I told her what my intention is. I told her the work that I'm already doing with people in the sense of officially and with clients that I've got. And she goes, well, if you're doing all that, why are you doing these videos? And I explained to her that I want to reach a lot more people because I believe we all need it in today's day and age. And we don't have that guidance sometimes where we want it. And I asked her, I said, what's the thing that you think is the number one thing that we as people and society and as humans are struggling with right now the most? And she just, one word, which is brilliant. She just goes, connection. I was like, I call the channel Chris the Bridge because bridge is the most visually symbolic thing I can think of between connecting two different things. You can think about whatever those two different things are. You can make them whatever you want, but a bridge is a connecting piece. And she said that, and that resonates with me to my core because that's exactly how I view everything, all right? Now, think about how many missed opportunities you have in your life every day to connect. Connect with a stranger, connect with the food you eat, connect with an animal, connect with nature, connect with a loved one. It's connection missing everywhere, all right? Without sort of going down a different topic of the different realms of connection we could speak about, I want to keep it streamlined to just say how good it feels to actually connect with someone organically like that just happened. And I'll tell you something, before it, we probably both had an element of fear about that connection. Not fear like we're going to hurt one another, but just fear around the unknown. I'm sitting here, vulnerable, recording a video in nature, and she's walking over there, vulnerable, doing her thing. She was actually the brave one, not me, to be honest. She was the one that stopped, stood pretty much directly behind the camera, was just looking over. And then as I said, I stopped the camera. And when I did that, she took that opportunity to come and ask what I was doing. And she was curious about it. And she told me what she was doing with her day, and one thing led to the next. Now, we both had an element of fear. But when we were able to trust and overcome that and actually have a conversation, literally we spoke for 20 minutes fluently. No judgment, listened to one another, spoke. Then we even had a handshake and a hug at the end. This was a complete stranger. That's what I was to her and she was to me. Right? She's someone who could become a friend. She's someone who could become just a neighbour. She's someone who I may never ever speak to or see again. But jumping into those situations, honestly, is where the magic in life lives. And if you've ever done something like this, it's a game changer. And I wasn't looking for that. And she wasn't looking for that. But what we both did, we were brave enough to take action on a real life situation and not get weird about society saying, no, you shouldn't. All right? And once again, I need to reiterate, I'm not telling you to just walk up to randoms and start conversations with people who could be dangerous or harmful. I understand the world in many ways does have predators and people that aren't out there that have your highest good in mind. And I'll tell you what, that's a vast minority. The majority of people think exactly like you. The majority of people think exactly like me. We may use different words. We may carry different titles, different labels, different identities. We may share our messages differently, but they think exactly like me and you. The world and society and, the controllers at bay, so to speak, are the ones pulling the strings, the puppet masters. They're the ones who tell you that we all think differently. They're the ones who tell you that we're all separative. And that was the main message that she wanted to talk to me about, was that we all lack connection. We all lack that ability to do things. She also told me that, she runs a dating app and these things, and that she's someone who's been able to see how much connection is lost in the world and how much people are wanting connection. She sees people that are wanting it the most through those dating apps, whether that be a connection of love, a connection of intimacy, a connection of socializing, a connection of something else. They're the ones that are actively trying to find it. And I said to her, and she agreed, which was great, but I said to her, how many of us want that connection because we don't have it with ourselves? How many of us are looking for what we want in here, out there? And she agreed. She goes, it's everywhere. And it just made me want to put all this together as a video and just share a real-time experience. Literally, she left. I was like, I got to record and just share it. She was like, no worries. And it was an amazing interaction. So there's a few different things you can take from this video. I'm not sure exactly which one it is. This was more of a sharing something rather than a more determined and precise type of video like I normally do with you guys. But there's some real power in what I just experienced, and I want that for you. I want that for you. I want you to, this very piece of technology you're listening to me on right now, when this video finishes, if you've got it in you, turn it off and go and speak to the person who you can get in contact with right now. Parents, siblings, partner, friends, children, whatever. And then be not just brave enough, but be open enough to say hello to a stranger, to come from your heart, to be authentic, to reach out from a loving, caring place. I haven't had what just happened to me then happen to me, tongue twister, for a long time, probably a couple of years. And it all started around 2019, 2020, and we know what that period of time went down for as a society, and what we all went through, and what was driven, whether we liked it or not. There was disconnection. It was social distancing. It was taking the human aspect away, regardless of what side of the coin you sit on as to what the agendas were behind that. It's irrelevant. That's not what I'm here to talk about. But I am here to talk about the consequences of what went down during that period. And our ability to communicate with each other was lost. Our ability to make friends and have a really deep chat with a stranger was lost. And not just a stranger, but more importantly as well, or not more importantly, equally as important, the people we love. We text them. Do you know how many people I know that text people that are in a room next door to them instead of getting up and speaking to them? That's a small example, but geez, there's so much I could go on with. I don't want to get stuck going around in a rabbit hole or a loop. All right, I'm hoping the message that I've just talked about and shared with you guys can inspire you in some way, shape or form. And ultimately, something I learned from that, even more than I already knew, was to never judge a book by its cover. Because I bet you any money that what she thought of me and what I thought of her, before we were brave enough to actually say hello and have a conversation, was probably very different to what we now know of each other. All right, so let this be your permission slip to be brave enough to talk to a stranger. And if you don't want to have a big, deep chat, at least smile at them or say hello. Because that person, more times than not, if every single time, would love to speak to you as much as you might want to speak to them. They just don't know how to do it. But we all want to, because it's in us. It's innately in us as humans to want to connect with everything. That's part of this experience here. Connecting to our body, connecting to nature, connecting to the universe, connecting to whatever. I said a few things earlier as well. Don't deprive yourself of connection. All right, and I'm very grateful for that exchange what I just had. It was a beautiful thing, and I hope you guys can have something like that happen in your life very soon. I hope this video is the start of your frequency shift to allow those interactions into your life. It raises your vibration and your frequency really quickly. I'm very grateful for it and the lady I just met. So I hope this video helps you in some way, shape or form, and you can take it forward with you. But have a great day and be open to connecting with your fellow humans, because we're all in this together, whether you know it or not. Divide and conquer has never served us. It's served the opposite of what we are. All right? Love and unity, strength in numbers, and knowing that none of us are smarter than all of us. None of us are more powerful than all of us. And those type of concepts, togetherness, the collectiveness, that's where the power of humanity is. All right, so do your best to be open to this stuff. It's game-changing in many ways, and it won't just help you, but will help them. We'll all rise together. All right, have a great day.